and they're chanting "Trust the process" in a nod to Sam Hinkie.
Trust the process. It was a meme, a movement, a marketing slogan, a punchline, and for a while, maybe even a revolution. When the Philadelphia 76ers embarked on what became known as the process, they weren't trying to lose. They were trying to win in a new way, a way that would challenge NBA orthodoxy and bet on one thing above all, the value of draft picks. What followed was one of the most fascinating and polarizing experiments in modern sports. Today we're going to break it all down, year by year, trade by trade, pick by pick. We'll look at what the plan was, how it evolved, and in the end, whether it actually worked. Let's rewind the clock. In 2012, the Sixers were stuck in NBA purgatory, that dreaded middle ground where you're too good to tank, too bad to contend. After sneaking into the second round of the playoffs in 2012, the team doubled down by trading for an aging Andrew Bynum. Disaster struck. Bynum never played a game in Philly. The Sixers crashed back to earth. Ownership wanted a new vision. They hired Sam Hinkie, a former Rockets executive known for his data-driven approach as general manager. Hinkie's belief was simple but radical. In a league where stars win championships, the best way to get stars is through the draft. Not mid-round picks, top picks. And the best way to get top picks? Lose. A lot. In one of his first moves, Hinkie traded the team's lone all-star, point guard Drew Holiday, to the New Orleans Pelicans. In return, the Sixers got the number 6 pick in 2013 and a future first-rounder. It sent a message: no sacred cows. Everything was about the long game. The Sixers entered the 2013 draft with 2 lottery picks. At number 6, they selected Nerlens Noel, a shot-blocking big man who was recovering from a torn ACL and would miss his rookie season. At number 11, they took Michael Carter-Williams, a tall point guard out of Syracuse. The rest of the roster? Stripped bare. Hinkie traded veterans for second-rounders and cap flexibility. The plan was clear: lose games, get experience for young players, accumulate assets. And lose they did, finishing 19-63. Still, there were bright spots. MCW won Rookie of the Year. Noel showed promise in practice. But for Hinkie, Carter-Williams was always more of a trade chip than a building block. The process had begun. The 2014 draft was crucial. The Sixers had the number 3 pick and selected Joel Embiid, a supremely talented big man from Kansas with a concerning foot injury. Embiid would miss the entire 2014-15 season, and as we'll see, more than that. Later in the draft, the Sixers acquired Croatian forward Dario Saric, who would stay in Europe for a few more years. In typical Hinkie fashion, more veterans were traded. MCW was eventually shipped out for a valuable future Lakers first-round pick. The Sixers finished 18-64, but on paper, they now had Embiid, Noel, a future pick from the Lakers, and Saric stashed overseas. Hinkie had no illusions. The team wasn't close to competing. The process was about stockpiling talent and optionality, short-term pain for long-term gain. If there was a low point in the process era, 2016 might have been it. The Sixers once again picked number 3 and selected Jahlil Okafor, a gifted post scorer but a questionable fit next to Noel and Embiid. Embiid, for the second straight year, missed the entire season with lingering foot issues. Okafor put up numbers but struggled defensively. Noel showed flashes but looked frustrated. The Sixers finished 10-72, one of the worst records in NBA history. The NBA took notice. Commissioner Adam Silver quietly pressured the Sixers to hire seasoned executives and advisors. Ownership eventually brought in Jerry Colangelo as chairman, signaling that the league's patience with intentional losing had worn thin. Sam Hinkie soon resigned. His 13-page resignation letter would become a cult document among the process believers. But even as Hinkie left, the war chest of picks and flexibility he had amassed remained. Brian Colangelo, Jerry's son, then took over as GM. The 2016 draft gave the Sixers their biggest win yet, the number 1 pick. They selected Ben Simmons, a 6'10 playmaker with enormous potential. Unfortunately, Simmons suffered a foot injury and missed his entire rookie season. The silver lining, though? Joel Embiid finally debuted, and was spectacular. In just 31 games, he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game, captivating fans and media alike. However, the team still finished 28-54, but for the first time in years, hope was real and visible on the court. The Sixers struck again in the draft, trading up to select Markelle Fultz at number 1. It was a bold move, but would become one of the great process missteps. Fultz suffered from a mysterious shoulder injury and lost his shooting form. Meanwhile, Simmons, finally healthy, won Rookie of the Year. Embiid became an all-star. The team signed veteran shooters like JJ Redick to space the floor. The result? The Sixers won 52 games, made the playoffs, and defeated the Miami Heat in the first round, their first series win since the Allen Iverson era. Trust the process chants echoed through Wells Fargo Center. At last, it seemed like the process had arrived. Now, the front office pivoted from accumulating assets to chasing a title. They traded for Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, forming a star-studded starting 5 alongside Embiid, Simmons, and Redick. The playoffs brought heartbreak. In the second round, the Sixers faced Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors. In Game 7, Leonard's iconic 4-bounce buzzer beater sent Philly home. This was the process's high watermark, a team that was one shot away from potentially winning it all. But soon, things unraveled. Jimmy Butler left for Miami. The Sixers signed Al Horford, a poor fit alongside Embiid. Ben Simmons' reluctance to shoot became a glaring problem. Markelle Fultz was traded to Orlando. Front office instability continued. In 2021, the Sixers earned the number 1 seed but suffered an infamous playoff collapse. Simmons passed up an open dunk in Game 7 against Atlanta, a moment that sealed his fate in Philly. Soon after, Simmons was traded for James Harden. More stars had come and gone, but through it all, one process pillar remained: Joel Embiid, now an MVP. So, did the process work? It depends on your definition. If the goal was to build a dynasty to win titles, the Sixers fell short. Many of Hinkie's picks flamed out or were mishandled. Noel and Okafor, gone. Saric, solid role player. Simmons, talented but flawed. Fultz, a bust in Philly. Embiid, an MVP-level superstar. Embiid alone justifies the process, but ownership's impatience and front office dysfunction undermined the rest of the plan. In the end, the process gave Philly a sustained window of contention, a global superstar in Embiid, a franchise reborn from irrelevance. But the dream of an unstoppable super team, that part never fully materialized. Trust the process started as a bet on patience. The irony is that the Sixers ultimately didn't have enough of it. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.